Do you like wrestling? Do you ever watch wrestling?
No. Nope.
And The Rock said, whoa, 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 whoa.
What's up, gang? Welcome to Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman, the podcast that breaks down the biggest stories in and out of the ring. It's good to be here, guys. Episode 73, Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman. My name is Mike Wellman. I am your host. Thank you for hitting that play button. We appreciate you here, as always. Like I said, episode 73. We have a lot to get to on this episode. Vince McMahon resigns, accused of more horrible acts, sued, resigning in disgrace. We're going to get to that. Also, Cody and Bayley are your 2024 Royal Rumble winners. We're going to talk about the Royal Rumble matches and what we thought of the men's and women's Rumbles this year. Also, coming out of the Royal Rumble, CM Punk is injured, out, will miss WrestleMania, so we'll talk about that as well. And joining me on the program today, folks, he is a purveyor of world-class wrestling opinions, the one and only Wrestling Fan Kris, a.k.a. the notorious KRS. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, Mike? Good to be here, taking the first step on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, we are on the road to WrestleMania, and so are your cats. So, thanks.
They're here.
Should have fed them.
I just fed them. They just love me.
Yeah, we got a lot to get to. We're on the road to WrestleMania. No Dwayne at the Royal Rumble.
That is pretty weird, yeah.
But we did get his cousin Roman. So we'll talk about that. Like I said, we'll talk about Cody and Bayley. I told you, Chris. I told you Bayley was going to win that thing.
You did, yes.
And
very good.
I did second guess myself. I even thought for a few brief, fleeting moments that Nia Jax could have been a dark horse winner of the Rumble. But we got Bayley and we got Cody here to rule his kingdom. The story is going to be finished.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, we got to get to the serious stuff to get to with this Vince McMahon shit. So we got a lot to get to on this episode, and we thank you for hitting that play button and joining us. So before we go any farther,
I'm on everything.
that's right. We need you to be kind, like, and subscribe. Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman. Watch Wrestling Pod on Facebook. Watch Wrestling Podcast on Instagram. At W Wrestling Pod. What the heck? On X. You don't want to miss those posts on X, folks. And you can find the podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. You can help support the podcast directly on our Patreon, if you so choose. And yeah, be kind, like, subscribe, and share. And we look forward to having zero problems, big fella. Isn't that right, Chris?
Correct.
We don't want zero problems when we see you. So subscribe.
Because I know who does it, and I will give you problems.
Yeah, we know. We got a couple people out there who tune in every now and again, but they don't subscribe. All right. So we learned last week about some horrific allegations against Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis in a lawsuit filed by former WWE employee Janelle Grant, who was not named in a series of Wall Street Journal articles that had come out previously, but her lawsuit details some pretty shocking and horrific behavior on the part of Vince McMahon, which allegedly includes sexual assault and trafficking of Grant to Laurinaitis and allegedly others. So, I mean, there are text messages from Vince that are just horrific and are pretty damning in and of themselves, along with the allegations. And really, at this point, with Vince having resigned over this, pretty much the day after the lawsuit was filed and the latest Wall Street Journal article came out, now we're left with the question of really who knew about this, because there are a lot of other unnamed individuals in the lawsuit who aren't getting sued, but the lawsuit mentions people on the board, employees of WWE, other executives who knew about McMahon's relationship with Grant and pretty much allowed it to continue. And a lot of the stuff in the lawsuit is, like I said, horrific. And for it to be at the level that it is at with the behavior of Vince McMahon, like I said, even just the text messages alone are damning enough that other people knew about that and allowed it to continue. Really just kind of goes to show you the level of depravity that we're dealing with, right? With just the allegations against Vince McMahon by so many individuals at this point, going back so many decades. Between that and this latest news, really kind of connecting just, parts of Vince McMahon's behavior and personality that we've seen on screen and heard people talk about off screen. It kind of just cements, a lot of things that people thought about Vince McMahon and just the culture of WWE in general and the type of stuff that it allowed. And to be honest, I've read through this lawsuit and it was really disturbing to me, and I was disgusted, and I was pretty much ashamed to be a wrestling fan after reading.
Yeah, it's definitely it's absolutely one of those moments where it's like, oh my God.
I think Vince McMahon's legacy is kind of set in stone at this point of being one of the worst human beings ever in the world of wrestling. So that's kind of established. But what needs to happen now, because he's gone, he sold some of his shares of the company. He still owns some. He's resigned in disgrace again. This time, most likely permanently. I like I said, the question is who knew what, meaning not just that certain things were going on, but who knew about these horrific details and turned a blind eye to it. Those people need to be gone. And I know that there have been some statements about how Ari Emanuel isn't afraid to clean house and he'll get rid of as many people as he needs to. Well, we can all kind of guess who needs to be gotten rid of, and I don't think it's going to happen. So we'll see. They might get rid of some people in WWE. I really hope. I wouldn't be upset if I found out a lot of people lost their jobs because of this. I would not. I mean, they were getting rid of people for what, like workforce redundancies when they had this company merger, and it's like, but you can't get rid of people who are contributing to a culture of abuse and human trafficking.
I mean, I hope they do. I'm sure there's going to be many, I would say. But like you said, I don't know if it's going to be the ones who we actually need, because I think we all know who should be. Well, we don't know, actually. I mean, we're not going to speculate. We don't really know. Well, but hopefully someone gets.
Yeah, and I think as this lawsuit goes on, more information is going to come out that will allow people to put two and two together, right? Like there was a named individual who was a former WWE superstar and also a former UFC fighter. Okay, great. So we know who that was. So it's like as more information like that from this lawsuit comes out, I think we'll be able to identify some of these people. But, even without that, the company should be able to handle this. And to be honest, I don't know how, with this lawsuit coming out, I don't know how far this lawsuit's going to get, but you would have to think that there should be some type of investigation into this outside of someone having to sue people and a company for allowing this type of stuff to happen to them, So the legal system tends to not punish people in power like Vince McMahon, but if there's any justice in the legal system, you would think that in this case, there should definitely be some serious legal, investigations going on aside from, like I said, just lawsuits. And it took a lot of public pressure for people like Harvey Weinstein and, Bill Cosby and others to get prosecuted. But I think that the more that a light gets shined onto this type of behavior, and the more people just don't let up, and not only do you have to get rid of the offenders, but all the people who let this behavior go on and on and on. If you only punish Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, the culture that allowed this to happen is still there.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. It's definitely seeped within that whole company. So,
and I really don't care. And it does not matter how good someone is at their job, how crucial they are to the company's success. Because now anyone who defended Vince McMahon, now what they were defending.
Yes.
So the more information the public has, the more informed wrestling fans and the general public can be when it comes to, do you want to support a company that allows, allegedly this type of behavior to go on, even if it is from the owner at the time.
I know. Oh.
So we'll see if there's any other shoes that will drop in WWE. Like I said, I don't care who it is. If Ari Emanuel or whoever's in charge at Endeavor, if they really mean what people have said about them, that they'll get rid of anybody that they need to, then let's see it. Let's see it.
Yes, I agree. Let's see it.
So, but yes, let's move on from the filth of the world and talk about some actual wrestling, if we can.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so this past Saturday, WWE was in St. Pete, or where were they? Were they in Clearwater, Florida? Where were they? Were they? I don't get it. They were in every town Hulk Hogan's ever claimed to be from, apparently.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, we had the WWE Royal Rumble coming to us from the old Thunderdome.
Oh yeah.
Right, that was the building that they used for the Thunderdome, wasn't it? Tropicana.
Yes, it was. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So winning the men's Royal Rumble was Cody Rhodes. In my soul.
That's right.
And winning the women's Royal Rumble, my personal choice, Bayley, which I thought was great.
Me too. I loved it.
So let's talk about the men's match first. Okay. I did like the beginning with the Usos kind of facing off against one another.
Absolutely. I think we've said this many times, like on the show and just talking to each other. The Royal Rumble's at its best when it sets up other things, even if it's not just for the winner. So like setting up the Usos WrestleMania match, I assume is where it's going, or eventual match is great. Started off with a bang.
Yeah. So we had the brothers, Mario and Luigi in here.
Yep.
Saving Brooklyn. No. 1 and 2. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. I think we'll see them wrestle at WrestleMania.
That'd be great. I hope so.
And Andrade making his return to WWE in the Royal Rumble. I think a lot of people saw that coming. Wasn't really a big secret that he left AEW and that he was going to come back in the Royal Rumble.
It was good though.
Oh, go ahead.
I would just say it was nice though. Like he came in, had a good showing. It wasn't a huge surprise, like you said, but it's good to see some new blood in there, even if it's not like some crazy huge big name.
Carmelo Hayes looked pretty good in the Royal Rumble, I thought.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
I don't know if I like it better that some of these guys are just coming up from NXT, kind of just like seamlessly working themselves into the roster, as opposed to some big debut and then it flops. I think I do like it better, actually.
I think it is. Yeah, it's a little bit better too. I think they have a couple of matches on SmackDown, or like Dragon Lee kind of got slowly brought up, but he was still kind of at NXT. Same thing with Carmelo Hayes. They're doing a good job. I don't think they're doing that with Braun Breaker though. I think he's up for good now. Monster or on? Yes, I do.
Yeah, we got Braun Breaker in there at number 20 in the Royal Rumble. Number 20 in the Royal Rumble, Braun Breaker. Read online that they slided Braun Breaker in there into Brock Lesnar's spot because they gave Brock Lesnar the night off, seeing how he was implicated in the lawsuit as an individual.
Probably a good move, and honestly, good. See you later, Brock. Let's have Braun Breaker, some new blood, do some cool stuff.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm going to probably give it a 60% chance we never see Brock Lesnar again on WWE TV.
I think I agree with you. Yeah, there's no way. He's just going to go to his ranch or whatever, wherever he lives, and stay there forever.
Yeah, I don't think that this is a situation where when the heat dies down, maybe he'll be fun again in a couple years. I think that by that point he won't want to, and as low of a threshold I put on fans, and their memory of these kind of things, I do think people will not appreciate. I don't think people will cheer for Brock. I mean, they might though. I could be giving people too much credit.
They might cheer for him, but I don't think that people are going to be actively man, I wish Brock Lesnar was here. That's not going to happen. I think it's probably more like a 90% chance we never see him in WWE again, and a 60% chance we just never see him do anything ever again.
Yeah, I'd be fine with never seeing Brock Lesnar on WWE television ever again.
I think I'm fine with it too. No need.
Gunther did not win the Royal Rumble.
I mean, I guess it's fine, whatever. If it wasn't Cody, if Cody didn't win and Gunther didn't win, I'd be a little upset. But since it was Cody, I think it's okay. Gunther still came off looking great. The Intercontinental title means more than it has in so long, so it's fine.
Braun Breaker did eliminate Ivar.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Omos was in the Royal Rumble.
I wish I liked him more. I feel like and I love MVP. It just makes me sad. I feel like they should be better. I don't know.
Pat McAfee was in the Royal Rumble. He was on commentary as well. Didn't have to walk down the whole ramp to get in the ring.
I know how you feel about Pat McAfee, and you're right. But I did like his. He is pretty good at that. He was like, I'm gonna go in there and there's two huge guys in there, and then he just eliminates himself. I liked it. And then he tried to sneak in. Good stuff.
Yeah, and absolutely no in-ring work here from Pat McAfee. Just got it. Walked in, made a big spectacle of himself, made sure the attention was on him. Then he got out and didn't do a single thing for the fans. So thanks for that, Pat McAfee.
But Michael Cole was happy. That's all.
Yeah, as long as we're appeasing Michael Cole, as long as he's happy when he's at work, that's why Pat McAfee is here.
That's right.
R-Truth was in both Royal Rumbles.
I went back and checked to make sure, and yes, he was 24 in the men's, and that was when he came out in the women's too. So that was very good. I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, and we got a hot tag, the first ever hot tag into the Royal Rumble from R-Truth, of course.
Fair, you're right. I forgot. That's great.
R-Truth still finding ways to amaze us with stuff like that. A hot tag into the Royal Rumble. Who else could accomplish this?
I don't know. That's a great question. I know you kind of said that tongue in cheek, but you're right. I don't know if anyone could pull this off.
Yeah.
He's been one of the greatest characters that the WWE has ever created, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, pretty soon we're going to be seeing R-Truth hopping out of a Thanksgiving egg with the Money in the Bank briefcase or something.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
He'd pull it off, though.
CM Punk came in at number 27. Good. He drew a lucky number there, close to the end.
When he hit 27, I thought he was winning.
Yeah,
honestly,
come in kind of late there, So no big surprise at the end. No Rocky Maivia in the Royal Rumble. No Dwayne. Sami Zayn came in at number 30, which nobody really cared.
Yeah.
I feel like, for number 30, I just think what they need to do is it needs to be either the big important guy that is going to be there, i.e. a Cody, a CM Punk, somebody you're waiting for, Gunther, right? Or it has to be some big epic surprise because they always, whenever it's a number 30 and it's just somebody, it doesn't hit as much, Yeah,
that's like that's the Rey Mysterio rule, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Rey Mysterio. Oh.
Yeah. Like one of the greatest of all time just gets that reaction because you're exactly right. It either has to be some big guy you haven't seen yet, whether it's like Gunther would have been good, or a big surprise.
Yeah.
Take notes. Yeah.
So overall, I thought this match was very good. Like you said, setting things up. We'll get to the CM Punk news after we talk about the Rumble. So, yeah, not a lot of surprises, but at this point, just with where WWE is and where their roster is, they have a lot of younger guys and they have a lot of guys who are not established, right? Guys who are not super big stars, even if they're not young, right? Like Karrion Kross, Santos Escobar, Bronson Reed, just guys that are, newer to the main roster scene, right? And, combine that with actual younger talent, right? Like the Braun Breakers, JD McDonough's, Austin Theory, people like that, that they have.
Yep.
Carmelo Hayes. And they don't really need a lot of gimmicky surprises, right? Like we don't need, the Iron Sheik coming in or like the Big Show. I mean, obviously he's probably still recovering from that power slam by Hobbs onto the hood of that car, but
definitely is. Just
in general, we don't need a bunch of old guys. Like we don't need the Road Dogg we didn't see X-Pac in this match, which was a rumor.
Yeah. I wonder if he was back there, but I think you're right. I mean, I think it's fine. Get Bronson Reed in there, get Carmelo Hayes, get these guys and get Braun Breaker, get him in there because I think that's more important because I think we're like right now at a time in WWE where everyone's just happy with the product. And I think having Cody win, we're just like, good, Cody can go face Roman and that's fine. So there didn't need to be a surprise because we were happy with that.
Yeah. So I thought it was great that Cody won. They got down to Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, the men who faced off a few weeks ago and had an epic all-time great confrontation on Monday Night Raw. Two guys who are kind of star-crossed in a certain way with the promo the promo that Cody cut on his way out of AEW when CM Punk was just coming into AEW, and then now for them both to be back in WWE, the place that they both left, albeit for different reasons. Now they're back, albeit for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
And they both have established themselves as two of the top acts in all of wrestling. And I don't want to lose any fans here, but if you don't get that cat under control here, we're gonna ban cats on the show.
We got it. Hold on 1 second.
You stupid cat. No, just kidding. Wow, it's a rough day on the podcast today, folks. A lot of day one stuff here.
They're just excited for the Royal Rumble, all right?
I don't want to hear any other, I don't want to hear that you're, rolling your office chair around on bubble wrap, okay? Or any other sound effects makers.
Let me move that bubble wrap then. Hold on. I'm just kidding.
I don't want to hear any of those thick construction papers that make the thunder boom sounds going in the background.
That's only for my entrance when I start the pod and you introduce me.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any Thunder and Lightning on the show, on the board. I used to. I've got this.
There you go.
I don't know what happened to the Lightning. Let's see if we can. Oh, I do have Lightning. You ready? Jeez, Chris, what's going on over there?
I'm in a different climate than you, I guess. 8 miles away.
It's like, did the Undertaker just walk in?
Yeah, this is WrestleMania preparation.
Yeah, we're doing the soundtrack check for Taker's entrance here. All right, back to the Royal Rumble here, people. So yes, Cody wins, fulfilling 2 years in a row. Not everybody has won a Royal Rumble 2 years in a row, folks. We're talking Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, and dang it, I can't remember who else. Brock? No.
2 in a row? I thought it was just Austin and Michaels, man. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, and I think maybe Brock. No.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But I know, obviously, we've also got Randy Orton, I think, and Batista, who have won multiple Royal Rumbles as well. And I'm not sure. Triple H? No? I don't know. But yes, Cody joining an elite group of people who have won back-to-back Royal Rumble matches, 2023 and 2024. And as the tagline for the new WWE 2K video game says, Cody's going to finish the story.
I don't know if you want to go into this next, but do you think... So he points to Roman Reigns, right? And yells at him, it's you, right? And then on Raw, Seth Rollins kind of floats the idea that maybe he should go for his title. Do you think that was a way to just slow it up in case Dwayne signs on? Or do you think this is the story anyway?
I don't know what the deal is with Dwayne, okay? But I would guess at this point that he's not going to be at WrestleMania.
I would think, yeah.
I think that's where my... But I kind of thought that before the Royal Rumble. And I mean, yeah, if he came out in the Royal Rumble, then I would have changed my opinion of whether or not he's going to be at WrestleMania. But just, especially with him joining the board of directors of TKO last week, and then he just keeps talking about how if they do something, they'll want to do something unprecedented and that they've never done before. So it seems like he's just making it too big of a thing for them to do it. So it seemed like, I don't know, I kind of felt like maybe they were close, maybe they still are talking about it, but it seems like a Dwayne versus Roman match, I'm thinking they do that somewhere else aside from WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to those bigger, like, not bigger venues, but like, you know, if you're going international with some of these pay-per-views, they all become a little bit bigger.
Oh, I'm sorry, where are they going?
If they're going to like international, you know, then like they're doing Elimination Chamber in Australia, doing shows in Puerto Rico, doing shows in like Europe and stuff, those shows become even bigger. So even like a random, like, probably not Backlash, but even like a SummerSlam, if that's in a huge place, they want to draw attention, that's where you get The Rock versus Roman.
If they're going to Puerto Rico, they don't need The Rock. They have the biggest star in the world and one of the best wrestlers in the world if they go to Puerto Rico, and that is Bad Bunny.
That's actually true. So you're right. But yeah, I think, I don't want to get too far off topic, but do you think that since The Rock is on the board, maybe that has ended he's not going to come out and wrestle when he has to be on the board and do more important things, like worry about firing all these assholes that are complicit to Vince McMahon, you know?
Yeah, I think that he still could come back being on the board. I just think that he just isn't.
Well, honestly, I hope he's not, because I really like. I actually do want Cody to finish the story, and it'd be nice to see a world where Roman isn't the champion and just see how they navigate that. I don't know.
Oh no, that story's getting finished. Okay, you are not going to want to listen to this podcast after WrestleMania if Roman Reigns wins again at WrestleMania. Just no, you are not going to want to hear it. Do not tune in, folks, because it's not going to be good. If the story does not get finished, I'm liable to finish everything in this podcast studio and smash it. and break it.
Don't do that. No.
I'm getting mad just thinking about it. I'm gonna hit something.
It better be. You're right, and it'll be a great. I mean, we should have known last year, like when The Rock and Cena did it, and we should have known that it was going to be like a part 2. They love doing that kind of stuff, and they did it.
Yeah, I actually was a little bit surprised when Cody, not like the moment he won, but when it was kind of clear that Cody was going to win, to me, because I didn't think CM Punk was going to win. But
yeah,
I was a little bit surprised. I was surprised. I honestly thought that maybe The Rock was going to come out at number 30 and win.
You did say that before the show, and it made a lot of sense to me.
But Cody is the one logical pick when you're not trying to ruin people's lives.
Yes.
And so I'm glad that he won. He deserved it. You know, the one thing that I don't know if we're really giving enough credit to Cody is that he's maintained being the actual top babyface in WWE this whole time. Like, it's never been really forced. They don't really have to force Cody down your throat like they do a lot of the baby faces, or the back in the day, whomever the top guy was, Triple H, Batista, all these guys. They're not really doing that with Cody. It's really just the fact that he's still at the top. Even in times when there's been a little bit of a lull in his story, right? So he's just been the top babyface in WWE basically for the past year.
They did a lot of fun stuff too with him making it with his opponents, you know? So like Nakamura was a great opponent for Cody in the interim between like his finishing the story. They've done a good job of building up people for him to take down without making us hate him. And he took credit to him too, because he really is just, despite the CM Punk crap like that he did and he talked about him, I mean, he really is not really that like cool babyface, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't say like cool biting things. He's just like the whitest meat babyface we've had in years, and it just works. Yeah,
he's just got his character down completely. You know, with the fact that he was able to come back to WWE as the American Nightmare character, and they didn't really change it and mess with it and ruin it and give him a stupid jacket, and like everything is the way that Cody wants it to be, and it's just all working, I think.
Yes. So looking forward to that WrestleMania match.
Do you think Downstate ever thought that they would be making a song that is likely going to be played after the victorious main event of WrestleMania?
I do not think they did, but I think they're going to be at WrestleMania. We're going to get a live version of that.
Oh, heck yeah. We better now. Downstate, you better book them.
Hopefully they're not too busy.
They deserve it. They're the ones that got us here. You
really
to tell me what to do. You don't even need to know what the words are.
Music's very important. I mean, it really is. So you're kind of right.
Yeah, so let's get to the women's match. So in the women's Royal Rumble match, we got a debut of Jordynne Grace. I thought Jordynne Grace looked awesome in this match.
Absolutely, she did. Phenomenal.
Yeah, she got in there, and dare I say, she has one of the best spine busters, if not the best spine buster, in the wrestling business.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, she was in there.
Quality.
She looked like China in there.
Yeah.
Like, she looked like she could basically throw out any woman in that match.
Yep. And she was real crisp, too. She's just very good. Like, all her moves were very well. She was very good in the ring. Very crisp, very tight. Everything looked great.
Yeah, for sure. We also had Jade Cargill debuting, kind of. I mean, she made her debut in like internet videos and on WWE social media and stuff, and like backstage segments. But Jade Cargill's debut in the ring in WWE, and she looked like a star as well. And we did get an epic face-off, an all-time great Royal Rumble face-off between Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
Yes. That's going to be a nice one, too. Oh.
Liv Morgan returning at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think she was out for, I didn't realize she was out for like 8 months, was it? Man.
We also had Tiffany Stratton Roxanne Perez, R-Truth was in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yes.
He came in. He took Valhalla's spot, basically, or he came out at the same time as Valhalla. Then he comes in. Nia Jax eliminates R-Truth.
It's great. It's great. I actually liked the men's Royal Rumble match was very good, but I like the women's one way better.
Yes, I thought the women's match was better than the men's match this year. Yeah, for sure. It was a lot of fun.
It was very fun. That's why I like the men's match was good in a sense of it was like very like technical and very like wrestling wise. It was executed well. It was like by the book. Let's go with it. But like the women's match had a lot more fun to it, I think, and that's why I liked. And you mentioned Tiffany Stratton. I thought she looked fantastic in the match. She looks like a superstar.
And of course, former SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi returning at number 2 in the Royal Rumble.
That's true. Yeah, very good. I like that too. She's a good addition.
Yep, so Naomi is back. She also had a face-off in the Royal Rumble match with Jordynne Grace after they just faced each other in a program in TNA. It's hard to keep track of people coming in and out of TNA and WWE. Anybody else? Let's see. We had Alba Fire was in the match.
Mm-hmm.
Piper Niven? Piper Niven? Are you kidding me? Piper Niven?
I mean, maybe my favorite person in the match, though, was Chelsea Green. She's just incredible at everything she does.
Yes. Becky Lynch eliminated by Jade. That might be a good match. A good feud. Becky Lynch. We'll see what they do with Jade if she's going to, be wrestling, at WrestleMania. I wonder who they would put her with.
I think Becky's a good one because Becky, Jade's still kind of young in the ring, right? So, I mean, she's great. Definitely is a superstar, has that it factor, but still a little rusty in the ring, just doesn't have a lot of reps. So, having her against Becky would be pretty good.
Took a few people to eliminate Zoe Stark.
Yeah, I forgot. She also looked good. They got something with her too. They kind of knew what they were doing in the booking,
Yeah, and almost no returning, Divas era legends. Really none.
Yeah, there was none. I don't think there was any.
Natalia really was like everyone else is like from the post NXT days of WWE.
Yeah.
Like every single person except R-Truth.
It really it does show some people like Candice LeRae, who is just so good. It just shows how they really haven't done anything with her because nobody cared when she came out. That made me sad.
That was actually about half of the wrestlers in both matches.
Yeah, sure, that's right.
They just did not care. But it's fine.
But still, they did a good job, and Bayley winning was awesome. Bayley was also very good in the match. When she would eliminate people and just have snarky comments and just wave to people. She knows what she's doing with the character too. It's great.
Yeah, Bayley is awesome, and that's why I wanted her to win. Obviously, she deserves to win it, and Bayley deserves to win the title at WrestleMania, and I hope that's what they do.
Do you think it's going to be Damage Control blow up, or is she going to go after Rhea Ripley?
So we saw on Raw this past week that Rhea Ripley came out and basically bullied poor Bayley, and I don't know. I feel like they've obviously been building toward Bayley choosing, her faction mate in Damage Control, Io Sky, right? I think that they haven't. That's what they've been building toward. So that's what I would think they would do.
Yeah, they're probably gonna do that. I know, which is fine too. That would be a great match. Either way, it's gonna be a fun match, whether it's Ripley or Io Sky. I'm looking forward to that match at WrestleMania. WrestleMania is actually shaping up to be pretty. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but there already looks to be some pretty interesting matches going on.
So we also had Roman Reigns retaining the undisputed Universal Championship, pinning LA Knight. Pinning AJ Styles, right?
Yeah, yep.
And then we had... Who even won this match? I don't even remember who won the match. Kevin Owens almost won the U.S. title. In my mind, he won the U.S. title, but unfortunately, he was rocking those brass knuckles when he got the pin, and apparently this referee decided to do their job for once. Who was the referee in this match? No, I'm just kidding.
I know, we had file a formal complaint.
Yeah, so I thought that Logan Paul and Kevin Owens was going to be like a really good one pay-per-view match. You know, like I told you before the show started, I said, Logan Paul, this is his turn to get his ass kicked for 20 straight minutes, right? Like, that's part of being a good wrestler, is you have to be able to just... You're going to go in there against a super tough guy. Even if you're a super tough guy, there's going to be a tougher guy, right? And that guy's going to have to beat your ass, generally speaking, right? There's always a tougher guy, right? So for Logan Paul, Kevin Owens is obviously a much tougher guy. So in my mind, the way I booked this match was Kevin Owens beats Logan Paul from pillar to post. Maybe some blood.
Oh, that'd be great.
and just wins. No comeback for Logan Paul. If you think about it, it would be unrealistic if Kevin Owens gained the upper hand in a fight against Logan Paul. It would be unrealistic for Logan Paul to mount a comeback. You would think the momentum of someone like Kevin Owens beating up someone like Logan Paul would be insurmountable. So
I would hope so, yeah.
But that's why Logan Paul has these goofs around him that, like, who does the WWE not vet these people for who should be allowed, with Logan Paul? Are they not checking to see who's coming? These guys are coming over the railing. They're coming into the ring. They're bringing in weapons. It never ends. First it's KSI. Then it was this other idiot. It's just...
Oh, yeah.
Logan Paul and his troop of idiots coming out here and cheating in every match that he's in, pretty much.
Hopefully, your scenario plays out at WrestleMania and Kevin Owens just absolutely... Who knows if it's going to be Kevin Owens, Logan Paul? Maybe not. But hopefully, Kevin Owens or whoever just absolutely obliterates Logan Paul and he goes away for like 2 months.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that to me, this seemed like a really good one pay-per-view match. But now I think it's going to go on longer. I think they're not done yet.
It seems that way, yeah. But maybe it'll be like a no disqualification match, and then maybe we will get your blood.
We need to see some blood come out of Logan Paul, I feel like.
If you want to be a part of this business, kid, you know what to do.
The need for blood continues. So, yeah, we'll see what we get from Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, but I think there's other people you can put Logan Paul with, because it's kind of like he's shown he can have these great matches, and you've put him in there against, everybody up the top to Roman, right? Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Ricochet, Kevin Owens. Keep mixing it up. Put him in there with somebody else interesting,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Maybe give us Logan Paul versus Ludwig Kaiser at WrestleMania. There we go. Box office right there.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Logan Paul versus Omos.
Oh, that. Hey.
That would probably be a very terrible match.
It would be, but that could just be... Yeah, you don't want to do a... Logan, I mean, for you and me, it'd be great if Logan Paul just comes down and gets, like, choke slammed and, like, beat up, but probably want Logan Paul to wrestle someone who can do a couple moves.
Yeah. So, but it does seem like it's going to be Kevin Owens again. I mean, maybe he has a match with Kevin Owens' best bud, Sami Zayn, even though I know they're kind of gone their separate ways at this point.
We'll see. At least that's interesting coming out. Ugh.
One person who had a rough night at the Royal Rumble and who unfortunately will not be a part of WrestleMania this year is one CM Punk, because CM Punk injured himself in the Royal Rumble match, and he came out on Raw and got a little physical for someone who's injured, but he came out and he announced his injury and that he's going to be out for a while and he's going to miss WrestleMania. So he said, just like the Chicago Cubs or whatever, or the Bears. I don't know. He said, "There's always next year." So there you go, folks. CM Punk will not be at WrestleMania, which sucks for him.
It does. I did enjoy him saying that being the best in the world doesn't always mean you win, and saying, "Did you see?" Unbelievable. And he said, "Did you see him wrestle or fight in the UFC? Didn't always win." That was a great little dig at himself.
Yeah. He's notoriously bad performances in the UFC. Yeah, no, I mean, he's just coming out and saying, like, okay, this sucks, goodbye. And he's had to do that a few times over the past 5 or so, or whatever, 2 years, really, that he's been back. I mean, is this like his 4th serious injury since he returned to wrestling? Probably, right?
Second tricep tear.
Yeah, second tricep tear. He had the broken foot from when he jumped into the crowd. And there may have been another one. But yeah, the guy, I mean, with all of these guys, especially when they're a little bit older, I understand the desire to come back, but I feel like you got to make sure that you're ready to go. You know, when you get these injuries, it's like you got to, whatever surgery is required. Like, I don't know if I mean it for old guys or young guys, because I think the young guys should go get surgery too. I don't know if toughing it out and skipping surgery and working through it is the best rehabilitation method.
It's definitely not, especially with tricep and like bicep and quads and stuff like that. Like, you use those so frequently that I don't think you can just like rehab or like tough it out, because those are going to get used over and over and over again. It'll just never ever square. It'll never heal. So,
well, he's going to be out for like 6 months at least. So we'll see him later on in the year.
It might be good. By the time he comes back, maybe he can stop being so like gracious and I love WWE CM Punk. I mean, he's good at it, but I think we all want the true CM Punk to come out.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and we were pretty much most likely looking at a Seth Rollins versus CM Punk World Championship match, probably headlining night 1 of WrestleMania. And then we had Seth Rollins, who is also out with a MCL tear and a meniscus tear in his knee. So he is questionable for WrestleMania, and now we lose CM Punk. That is a big match that's off the WrestleMania card now.
Do you think it's the time now where Damian Priest just says, "I'm putting my money in the bank briefcase up for WrestleMania," and he beats Seth Rollins? That's probably the easiest way to go.
Well, just mentioning Damian Priest, I don't think that there's really a good choice for him, because for one, they kind of had all these stars that we're talking about, right? Like The Rock, CM Punk, Cody, Seth Rollins, all these guys in big matches at WrestleMania. And it's just, no offense, but nobody with a Money in the Bank briefcase is going to be cooler or, more exciting than The Rock. So when we're talking about that as a possibility, it just takes away from whenever Damian Priest would cash in. And now I don't think it's going to happen before WrestleMania. You still have Gunther, the person who we all thought was going to win the Royal Rumble.
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, Elimination Chamber is coming up. I always forget about that. You never know what's going to happen. That they could just do whatever. They could throw someone in and have that be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dave Meltzer said that Gunther was going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Well, good. Now it's frees him up to be the champion.
Yeah, and now Gunther should face somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you just just put Braun Breaker in that match too. Just literally replace anything to do with Brock Lesnar with Braun Breaker. I'm fine with it. Just Photoshop him into every old poster. Just Braun Breaker. You didn't know Braun Breaker was at SummerSlam 2002 when it was Rock versus Braun. Not Rock versus Brock. You didn't know?
No.
Just like, because, it's like Braun Breaker is that type of a guy, but he's not really, this big, monster like Lesnar is. But, yeah, no, Lesnar is hopefully gone. So Gunther could go into any one of those spots, right? You could obviously, if Rollins can't make it to Mania, you have to just take the belt off of him, and it would just be as far as how you do that before WrestleMania. because you wouldn't want to not defend the title at WrestleMania.
I didn't even think about the fact that like maybe Seth Rollins will lose the title. Maybe the briefcase might come into play, or he'll just lose the title before then. I just assumed he's going to gut one more out at WrestleMania, but that could just be a show. You're right. I never even thought of that.
Yeah. Well, I think you would just know at a certain point if he's going to... You just wouldn't wait.
You're right.
Not knowing. If it looked like he was going to be ready, which I think they are going to try to lean towards that, then you're going to put somebody in there with Rollins. You could do Damian Priest, like you said. But, I mean, like I said, these potential matchups that we were talking about, Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest, it just does not jump off the page, you know?
Speaking of, this just brought up into my head, speaking of that, like, you said if Cody doesn't finish his story, then don't listen to this cast. You're right. But also, if Cody wins and then Damian Priest catches in on Cody, that's almost even worse.
It would be worse because this is the thing. Is like I said, it's not just the matchups. It's, you know, if you're getting The Rock versus Roman, you want somebody to win there. That's The Rock or Roman. If you're getting Punk versus Cody, you want that winner. Like you want, and Cody finishing a story, you want him to finish the story. If Cody, so you're saying that Damian Priest could cash in on Cody after he wins? I'm getting hyperventilated just thinking about this. You're saying that he would cash in on the Universal Champion, not the World Champion.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen but I don't think it's gonna happen either. But we're just talking about Damian Priest and the gravity, the gravity of how big he is, the gravitas of Damian Priest, and that would not go over well either. So I shouldn't even have said it. I don't want him to listen. I don't want him to put that in pencil at all.
Yeah, you need to be careful what you say, okay? No. If they did that, if Cody wins and then Damian Priest comes out, that would be a similar situation to when Daniel Bryan won the WWE title at that SummerSlam, and then Triple H was the referee, and he pedigrees Daniel Bryan, and then Randy Orton came out, and people won the championship, and then people literally called their cable company and wanted their money back. That's how bad that would be, I think.
Yes, I think we both love Damian Priest. It's just, you're exactly right.
Right,
yes.
Yeah, no, nothing against Damian Priest. I just think that they didn't, like I said, there's all these other big stars that nobody wants to see, you know, like lose, really. Like if CM Punk was challenging Seth Rollins, you'd want to see a big CM Punk win. If it's Cody challenging Seth Rollins, you want to see a big Cody win. If it's Gunther challenging Seth Rollins, you want to see a big Gunther win. Or Seth Rollins beating any of those guys, you'd probably have a really great match, and then Seth Rollins would win, and it wouldn't be as cool as some of those guys winning the World Championship, but no, I don't think that would be a bad Money in the Bank cash-in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know what options that they have, because it would be unprecedented, but not in a bad way, if it went past WrestleMania, just because they never really do that, where it goes past WrestleMania, even though there's still a few months between WrestleMania and the next Money in the Bank. So could do night after WrestleMania.
That would be better. Even just not Cody.
I mean, even Cody night after WrestleMania losing it would be better than losing it the same night he wins it.
Yeah, it's way better than that. But
but that would be an epically bad title reign as well if it was one day. Cody finishes the story for one day. Oh man, that'd be terrible.
That would be bad.
Finish that story.
Let's stop talking about it, because I don't want this to happen.
We've gone over everything we don't want to happen.
Yeah.
Is there anything we do want to happen? I mean, realistically, it would have to be night after WrestleMania, World Championship. You get Seth Rollins. I think the real question is, what do you do with the World Championship now? Basically, that Punk is out, because he was probably the guy, right?
Yeah, so that might be you're right. Maybe it is better to have Seth Rollins retain at WrestleMania and then have him lose the next night to Damian Priest, whether it's a cash in or whatever, because that'll kind of swerve the narrative thought, you know? If Seth Rollins wins at WrestleMania, we're like, wow, I thought he was hurt. I thought he was going to lose. Wow. Then the next night we get a big cash in, and then I think we're okay with it.
Yeah, I think that, you know, it would still have to be a big moment to cash in. Maybe maybe it's like Jinder Mahal wants a rematch, and it's like Seth versus Jinder, and everybody's like, oh, this sucks. And then Damian Priest comes out, and all of a sudden it's like, yay, something good.
Wow, that's actually pretty awesome.
Well, because that's what people thought was going to happen like 3 weeks ago on Raw.
That's a great idea. This is all right. Now we're talking the good stuff here.
Yep.
Good job.
Yep. Now we're brainstorming here. No, but I think that they would want to have like maybe Seth Rollins survives like a epic beatdown from Gunther at WrestleMania, and then the next night he comes out, he's like limping, and he's like, "I'm a defending champion. I'm going to defend the championship." And then maybe it's like Damian Priest, and he comes out and wins.
I think that's a great idea, actually. Yeah, because I mean, it's gonna be interesting because you're right. It was gonna be Punk and Rollins, we think, and I guess Cody will probably have to declare who he's gonna fight right before Elimination Chamber.
Cody already did. He did when he was on the top rope.
I know, but it kind of looks like it's wavering. It's like wonky now. Who knows? Because of Raw.
Yeah. So I think with Seth Rollins and the World Championship, it really just depends on if Rollins is available for Mania, because it's still possible that he's not, right? That he wouldn't.
True. Yeah.
But what I really hope they don't do with Rollins, another thing that I hope they don't do, is where he's not really physically ready yet, so they just do like a 2-minute thing at WrestleMania,
Oh yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. I think you got to know by Elimination Chamber who Cody's going to face and if Rollins can go, because you can just have him like drop the title and Elimination Chamber becomes like maybe the winner is the world champion. Like they've done that before.
And at that point, you just slide R-Truth into that spot.
Absolutely. You're right.
I'm just watching this video on Twitter of Shawn Michaels like pinning Mike Knox in a random Survivor Series match.
I actually did see that. I saw that video as well. He didn't know what team he was on.
Yeah.
That was the gimmick of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so world title, WrestleMania, we have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, obviously with these injuries, it changes all the plans, and this other crap changing all the plans. And then the Universal Championship, I am ready to finish the story, folks. And of course, I'm just joking. If you listened to this podcast last year, you know that I shared my thoughts on the main event of last year's WrestleMania, which I think I still think that Cody should have won. Definitely. Just the level of vitriol we achieved last year. But yeah, we'll see what happens at WrestleMania this year. Interested to see on the women's side as well, Rhea Ripley, if she doesn't, if Bayley chooses Io Sky, which is likely, and that could be a great match, could be a 5-star match.
Yeah.
Well, then who will challenge the great Rhea Ripley?
Very interesting. You're right. I don't know. Is Nia Jax a big enough opponent for WrestleMania? Probably not.
I think it could still be Becky Lynch. It seems like that's the biggest. Because Charlotte is out.
Yeah, Charlotte's out, yeah.
And then you have, like I said, Bayley in there with Io. Highly doubt a random other member of Damage Control is going to go over to Raw to challenge Rhea, even though Asuka versus Rhea Ripley would be a great WrestleMania main event. Point, yeah. Obviously, so would Kairi Sane. Actually, I'll take Kairi Sane versus Rhea Ripley. I think that would be.
Oh, I would love that too. I don't think that's going to happen either, though. So
let's just move whatever mountains we got to move to get to that. Can you imagine? Insane Elbow at WrestleMania.
Oh, that'd be great. I can't imagine that. No, that'd be awesome though. She's a perfect size too for Rhea Ripley to kind of dominate, but still she's a good enough wrestler to overcome that. That'd be great.
Yeah, like I said, don't think that's gonna happen. So,
but I think you're right with Becky Lynch. I mean, that makes sense. She's still a superstar, super over. We'll love seeing Becky in a WrestleMania match and for the title. So that's a safe way to go, and I'm fine with it.
All right, so we'll write it down then.
Get it down. Yep. Remember this when the card comes out, and you're like, "Wow, they called this."
Yeah. So then, as far as other matches at WrestleMania, I don't know what they're gonna do with Dom Mysterio.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to be there though.
Obviously, we think... I mean, we haven't seen Rey Mysterio in a while. It's probably... Are they going to do the rematch? Dom versus Rey. Hopefully, Rey wins clean. Doesn't give Dom any offense.
I'm sorry. I think that sailed, man. Your dream is over.
It could be Rey's retirement match, though, where he just beats his son's ass and then retires like a legend.
Takes a mic right after and says, "I'm done."
Yeah. No rematch.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be... I mean, if Gunther's not in the world title match, there's going to have to be an epic Intercontinental title match with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious who Gunther wrestles at Mania, regardless of what championship it's for, because he's definitely establishing himself as somebody who needs to have a big match because he's one of the best guys in WWE right now.
Absolutely, yeah. So that'll be fun. They really do have a lot of great wrestlers right now and a lot of great characters that are hitting. And that doesn't happen a lot. That hasn't happened in a long time. So it's good to see both of those intersecting. Yeah,
it's crazy that they have. Unfortunately, they do have a lot of these injuries and stuff, but they have people that, like they have a strong enough roster where the B squad would just be a really fun night of awesome dream matches, right? Like even if they lost more of their main eventers, they have enough people on the roster that could have just great matches that they could just elevate.
I mean, speaking of dream matches, I think I don't know if this is going to happen. It probably won't. But a dream match for me would be DIY versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest again. And then DIY wins the titles at WrestleMania after like a 20-minute match. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were going to win the belts on Raw. I think that, I don't know if they would wait again all the way until WrestleMania. I feel like DIY should just beat those two guys. Maybe Judgment Day breaks up and we do like Finn Balor versus Damian Priest at WrestleMania. I don't know.
Oh, see, now this is it. Yeah, I like this too. This is good.
See,
all this stuff's not going to happen, and we're going to be so sad.
Yeah, whatever does happen. And I think we can probably close. I think is the story finished on Stone Cold Steve Austin? Is his story finished?
I don't think he's. I think he's done.
Dang.
Unless he's ready for Punk next year.
I just wanted to see a beer-soaked bald man kicking people in the nuts at WrestleMania. Is that too much to ask?
Sorry.
All right. Well, I guess that about does it for this episode of Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the podcast. We appreciate you as always. You already know. Be kind, like, subscribe, and share. Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman. What does this button do?
What's a baby face?
None of them open.
Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman. Help me.
Still selling fake doors. We have fake doors like you wouldn't believe. What are you worried about? Come get fake doors. Call us up and order some fake doors today. Don't even hesitate. Don't even worry. And don't even give it a second thought.